Zach's first words to me after this weekend were, "That bitch, Nick Rufca, got me so high." Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm one of the Try Guys producers.
And I'm Nick. I'm also a Try Guys producer.
And this is your inside look at some of our favorite videos.
Producers React. We've been working together for 4 years now?
Yeah, the twins are 4, so it's been 4 years.
We have not been on camera together too much.
No, but we share an office and we sometimes share a brain.
We're basically together all day long. I think we keep each other sane.
Yeah, we do. I don't know if anyone knows the origin story. So Try Guys started 5 years ago. And 4 years ago, I went on maternity leave and we hired Nick to do my job while I was gone. And by the time I came back, we were all just like, please, 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 can we keep Nick too? 4 years later, here we are.
Yeah, and you probably never see us together too much because we have traditionally split our videos.
It's always divided quite naturally.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be like, ooh, can I have that? And you'll be like, oh, thank God, I didn't know who was gonna respond to that. And I'm like, oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So we're gonna start with the Bachelor party.
Here's the thing that I think we all want to know. Was this Zach's actual bachelor party, or did his best man, who is not you, plan him one?
It was his real bachelor party, and it was a true surprise as far as I knew. I think I signed up for it. I'm like, I'll take that on. And I really thought it was just for the channel and a video with the Try Guys. I never thought it was his real bachelor party. We originally just talked to the other guys. We're like, what are some ideas you guys want to do? We landed on Vegas. We were sort of repeating the Keith bachelor party. We put it in the books. We were gonna surprise Zach, but he started asking questions. He's like, okay, that's fun, but like, when are you gonna let my friends know? And that's when I had this oh shit moment. I feel like we were together. I'm like, this is really his bachelor party. This is it. And suddenly the pressure doubled. You know, so Zach's like, no, this is really it. And I let it slip that we were planning on Vegas. And he's like, I just don't even know if that's me. So we scrapped that. Zach sent an email.
Did he list like 45 ideas?
45 ideas. There were so many that I'm like, I don't know if we can go to space camp. You know, like this weird Zach fantasies. Definitely one of them was get a Vin Diesel look-alike to perform a lap dance. And then there was one that sort of caught my eye, recreate a zombie laser tag fight. And I was like, you know what? If we want to go that route, I think I can do this. So I zoomed with Zach. I was like, look, let's start over. This is your real bachelor party, but if we're gonna do this, you have to trust me. I know you want weird, and then after that, you can't be involved. And he agreed. He was like, I trust you. I've planned my brother's very straight bachelor party, and I've planned my best friend's very gay bachelor party.
And then Zach is neither very straight nor very gay.
Yeah. I was like, I think I can do this. I think it's in my wheelhouse. I love this opening.
It's so cinematic, which feels very Zach.
Here's Keith and Zach driving to Palm Springs, and I'm already super nervous because they had to leave LA at 8 a.m. I was just trying to keep my composure, but like everything had to come together just right. You know, like all the guys were meeting there as a surprise.
And they're having a bachelor party, but you're trying to produce a shoot.
I'm trying to produce a shoot.
And those things are kind of at odds with each other.
I didn't want to stage things too much. Like Zach's friends are his friends. They're not Try Guys. We sort of stayed away from the friends, capturing them just because it's not really, they're not YouTube stars, so they don't need a camera focused on them.
They didn't agree to this life. They just like Zach.
That's right. So that's my poor husband, Paul, is the alien.
Wait, Paul's the alien in the liquor store?
Here, yeah. I recruited him. I was gonna do it. I'm like, I think I'm gonna be concentrating too much on everything else. Will you please put on this alien? The Airbnb we got was not sponsored, by the way.
We pay for our locations, unfortunately.
And it actually is one of the few rental houses where it was so much better than the pictures. So I drove to the house with the guys seeing it for the first time, and I was like, oh my God.
You had never been there before.
No, I asked,
and you were really
I asked them
worried.
if I could come out and look at it, and they're like, no, we don't do that.
How many days did you guys film?
We filmed for 2 packed days. They were about 12 to 14 hours. My plan was for 3, which would have been a little nicer on the crew. But Keith said that they really wanted Saturday to just be off camera.
What were they doing Saturday?
If I had had my way, it would have been 3 days.
And Vin Diesel would have come.
And Vin Diesel would have been on day 3, so blame Keith for that, Zach.
Did you get to go out to Joshua Tree in Palm Springs and vet all these places in person first?
Yes, vlogged myself. I met all these vendors.
You vlogged yourself.
I did. Okay, I'm out here in the middle of August. It's hot. It's almost 100 degrees. And I'm scoping out whether this property in Joshua Tree could be good for a zombie apocalypse or a trippy cannabis dinner. Let's see if this would be good for old Zachy. So now we're
sound bathing.
Sound bath, which production order, we did this before they got to the house. We swapped it in the edit. Sarah, she really is a sound bath healer, and she was just game. I found her on Airbnb. Airbnb experiences, if you want to look her up. I met with all these vendors months in advance. Everyone we partnered with was lovely, which that's always a risk, right? Like, this was kind of a weird request. Like, this is a bachelor party, we're shooting it. So Palm Springs Underground,
Yeah, you went to Palm Springs Underground.
Yep, they were wonderful. They opened their doors for us. This was pretty much all complimentary, this experience.
Wow.
Yeah, they knew the Try guys, and they were like, this is cool.
And they do these like kind of radical dinners based on elements and stuff.
It's supposed to be like a full sensory experience. They have all these different themes. I gave them the theme of aliens, elements, and then they went with it.
Was the conversation flowing? Because at one point Eugene just goes, "What are all your mom's names?" And I was like, was it awkward at all bringing different groups of friends together?
Keith and Zach and Eugene, it's not a performance, they're hanging with their friends.
Yeah.
And the friends aren't used to Try Guys videos, so it did take a while. This is the end of day 1, a long day, and we went to the observatory that opened for us after hours to let them look through the telescopes and see the stars.
How did you think of that?
I've seen the observatory driving by. I don't know, I just thought it tied into the alien theme, that they would kind of be a cool bachelor party activity that's not getting wasted. Try to keep the guys not hungover for the first couple days.
And do I remember something happened to Eugene while he was looking through the telescope? Did he get existential?
Jack's laughing, yeah.
As an astronomer, how do you deal with the nihilism of space?
Yeah, that's one of Eugene's personalities, is existential dread.
So day 2, I sent them into Joshua Tree on a tour that we did not go on.
Okay.
My goal was to get Joshua Tree footage, but also to keep these guys busy so they wouldn't just drink and get high all day.
It's
producing,
kind of like babysitting.
Yeah, I'm like, if I just leave them by the pool, they're gonna show up to this, activity. There I am again.
As the alien.
So this house I rented for filming.
And where did you guys stay?
We stayed at the Ramada.
Get into film, Life of Luxury. You can stay at the Ramada Joshua Tree too.
So Zombie Joe's, they've never done anything like this before. They perform in a theater space here in North Hollywood. This was in October, so it's haunt season. It's their busiest season. So
it's
he's like, he had to work it around the shows they were doing, but they were so into it. Denise is their director, and she worked with me to curate the performance and make it funny and freaky. Here's where we meet Zach's original ask of a zombie shootout. Zombie players totally game for this weird ask. I'm like, they're just gonna fire at you.
And can he shoot you with Nerf guns?
Look, they're totally into it.
They are into it. This has all the vibes of Candid Competition's weirdest day.
Yes,
Are Keith and the guys sober?
For the most part, I would get somewhere and I would text Keith. Keith was my man on the ground with the Bachelor crew. I was like, get Zach a little high for this. I think after I saw the run through, I was like, get him a little stoned. They had just come back from their Joshua Tree tour, so I think they're mostly sober. But yeah, this was a long dinner.
How much weed did they consume? Because I fully believe this dinner would have murdered me.
40 or 50, 10 per course. Maybe there was one that was 5. I know. The chefs are so great that they would check in and be like, is everyone feeling good? If anyone was too stoned, they were like, we can pull back.
Yeah,
so they sort of design it to you. And
so
also
then the next course would have none or
Yeah.
little.
And this meal was probably 4 hours. There's a magician intermission break, which was like my only
magician intermission?
I always worry about magicians and cameras, you know, but he was cool. And of course they're all high, so he was...
Yeah, so he's extra cool.
During this magician performance, you can't really tell in the video, it got really windy. And some of the lights blew over, and I have a shot of Desiree just holding 2 lights as she lays on the ground like a human sandbag. And I'm like, that's crew doing it for you. Jonathan, Jack, Desiree, and Phil was the crew. It was a small crew, and it was a huge team effort
It was
too.
a huge effort.
Once it was going on. And we came the next day, we did all of their interviews at their house, and then we left them, and then they had a day without cameras.
A day no one will speak of.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you ever consider getting a stripper of any kind?
I don't even know if I told Zach this, I truly did look into male strippers who looked like Vin Diesel. And I really wanted to make that happen.
Why didn't that happen, Nick?
It was just too much.
You didn't just plan a normal bachelor party, you planned an epic, ultimate bachelor party that not only wanted to become a viral video, but also was real for Zach.
Yes, was
which
real.
is the scariest part of all.
Yeah, I know. Everyone walked away happy, and I just laid down the next day.
Yeah, you were dead, I remember.
Dead. I was dead.
Yeah.
Just that feeling of like planning this for several months. I mean, probably the first time we talked about it was 7 or 8 months prior.
Yeah.
Having one plan kind of go south and recovering with this. It's definitely one of the videos I'm most proud of for those reasons, but it was a lot of work.
Any one of these events could just be a whole shoot and a video unto itself. So all of them together feels somewhat impossible to me. And yet here it is.
Right. And we were so separated through this that I remember at the end, when you finally saw the first cut, you're like, you did so much.
What did you do?
Well,
Producers react.
Producers react. I hope you gained a little bit of insight into the process. And I'm looking forward to what Rachel's going to show me. I will happily be your work wife.
Yes, you are my work wife.